Hi dear students, this is Mr. Sanjay Kumar. Once again I am here with you for learning 7th standard English subject. Now we are going to learn lesson number 4.4, Home Sweet Home. This is actually a wonderful poem written by John Howard Payne. Now let's get some information about the poet John Howard Payne in the point introduction. The poet John Howard Payne was born on 9th June 1791 and died on 10th April 1852. John Howard Payne was a famous American playwright as well as an actor. He wrote near about 60 plays. The present poem Home Sweet Home is taken from his one of the famous plays named Clary Maid of Milan. Dear students, home is the best place to live. We live our happy life, our comfortable and secure life in our home. But sometimes we are forced to live far away from our home. There are certain reasons for leaving our homes. There may be the reason of taking education, or we are forced to leave our homes for doing certain jobs. At such time, we miss many things. We miss our parents, our friends, relatives, and many homemade things. Here, in this present poem, Home Sweet Home, the poet describes the different things which he misses when he is forced to stay away from his own home. So let's understand the whole poem in detail. First, we will read it. The first stanza: amidst pleasures and palaces, though we may roam, be it ever so humble, there's no place like home. A charm from the sky seems to hallow us there, which seek through the world is never met with elsewhere. Home, home, sweet, sweet home. There's no place like home. Oh, there's no place like home. Now, second stanza. An exile from home, splendor dazzles in vain. Oh, give me my lowly thatched cottage again. The birds singing gaily that come at my call. Give me them and the peace of mind dearer than all. Home, home, sweet, sweet home. There's no place like home. Oh, there's no place like home. Third stanza. I gaze on the moon as I tread the drear wild and feel that my mother now thinks of her child. As she looks on that moon from our own cottage door, through the woodbine, whose fragrance shall cheer me no more. Home, home, sweet home, home. There's no place like home. Oh, there's no place like home. Fourth stanza. How sweet it is to sit beneath a fond of father's smile, and the caress of a mother to soothe and beguile. Let others delight, meet new pleasures to roam, but give me, oh, give me the pleasures of home. Home, home, sweet, sweet home. There's no place like home. Oh, there's no place like home. Last stanza of the poem. To thee I shall return, overburdened with care. The heartest, dearest solace will smile on me there. No more from that cottage again will I roam. Be it ever so humble, there's no place like home. Home, home, sweet, sweet home. There's no place like home. Oh, there's no place like home. By John Howard Payne. Now dear students, let us understand the whole poem in detail. First stanza. Amidst pleasures and palaces though we may roam, be it ever so humble, there's no place like home. Here in the first two lines, the poet tells us that we may roam at different places to find out the pleasures of our life, but there is no place like our home. Be it so humble. Here the word humble means simple or inexpensive, though his home is very simple and inexpensive, but there is no place like home anywhere in the world. Next, the poet tells that a charm from the sky seems to hallow us there, which seek through the world is never met with elsewhere. Here in these lines there are some new words. For example, charm means something magical. Next, hallow, it means to make it holy. In these lines, the poet tells us that something magical from the sky makes this house holy. And here the poet tries to search the pleasure elsewhere in the world, but he doesn't find such a place, and the pleasure also which he gets in his home. Home, home, sweet, sweet home. There's no place like home. Oh, there's no place like home. Here the poet tells us that his home is very sweet and there is no such a place like his home elsewhere in the world. Now dear students, let us move on to the second stanza of the poem. An exile from home, splendor dazzles in vain. Oh, give me my lowly thatched cottage again. Here in this first two lines, the poet tells us that when he is away from his home, all the splendor dazzles means magnificence, bright things, they are all in vain. It means they are all useless. And here he wants only his lowly thatched cottage. Lowly means simple. Thatched cottage means the cottage with a roof covered with grass or straw. The poet here wants only his simple cottage which is made with the help of grass or the straw. Next, the birds singing gaily that come at my call. Give me them and the peace of mind dearer than all. Here in these lines the poet tells us that the birds are coming at him with just one call, and that's why he misses his simple cottage as well as the birds singing happily in his home. That's why the poet wants his home, because this is the place where he gets the peace of mind, and this is the place which is dearer to him than all. Home, home, sweet, sweet home. There's no place like home. Oh, there's no place like home. Once again, here the poet ends these three lines here to tell us that his home is very sweet home, because there is no place like his home anywhere in the world. Now dear students, let us move on to the third stanza of the poem. Here the poet tells that I gaze on the moon as I tread the drear wild, and feel that my mother now thinks of her child. In these two lines there are some new words. Let us understand their meaning. First, gaze. It means to look at something. Tread means walk lightly. And the next word, drear wild. It means dull and uninteresting place. Here in this line, the poet tells us that he looks at the moon in the sky when he walks lightly, when he feels very unhappy or his mood is not interested, and at the same time he feels that his mother is thinking about him, because his mother is also standing at the door of her cottage and looking at the moon in the sky. Then the poet tells that through the woodbine whose fragrance shall cheer me no more. Home, home, sweet, sweet home. There's no place like home. Oh, there's no place like home. Here in the next lines the poet tells that there is a woodbine plant. It's a climbing plant with yellow flowers. He remembers such kind of the plant which produces good smell, and here he is not able to get the smell of such a plant when he is out of his house. And once again the poet repeats these three lines in this stanza to tell us that his home is very sweet and there is no any other place like his home. Here the poet once again longs for his home. Now dear students, let us understand the next stanza of the poem. How sweet it is to sit beneath a fond father's smile, and the caress of a mother to soothe and beguile. Here in these two lines the poet remembers his parents. Let's understand the meaning of some new words. Here caress means the loving touch of mother. Soothe means here the comforts, and beguile means tempt or attract. In these two lines, the poet tells us that it is very nice, it is very sweet to sit under the smiley face of his father. Then the poet remembers the loving touch of his mother, which provides the comforts to live his life happily. Then the poet tells us that let others feel happy while roaming at different places. From place to place, let them roam to find the different places of the life. But the poet wants to give him only the pleasure of his life. And here the poet once again repeats these three lines to emphasize the importance of his home for himself. He tells us that his home is very sweet home for him, because according to the poet, his home is the only place where he gets all the comforts of his life, and there is no other place like his home anywhere in the world. Now dear students, let us understand the last stanza of the poem. Here, to thee I shall return overburdened with care. The heart's dearest solace will smile on me there. Here, in these lines, the poet addresses to his home and tells us that he will return with full of his problems, difficulties and troubles of life. But the poet is sure that here at his home he will get the dearest solace. Solace means here the comfort. Here at this place he will get the solace, the comforts of his life. The word thee means you. Here the poet once again promises that he will never go out of his house again. Though it is humble, though his house is very humble, means very simple, but he wants that simple house because he likes to live there and he gets all the pleasures of his life at such a place, and that's why he wants to live here in his home. Here he tells us once again in the last three lines that it is his home where he likes to live. There is no other place like home in the world. It is very sweet home. So dear students, in this way, through the poem Home Sweet Home, the poet tells us the importance of our home in our life. He further highlights that it is our home which provides us all kinds of pleasure. We can live our happy, comfortable and secure life.